We've got more news about Tom Cruise going to space. So we've got the space race that had been going on throughout 2020, where Tom Cruise, Elon Musk, NASA had announced they're going to collaborate to send Tom Cruise to space, and they're going to make the first movie in space. Russia beat them to it. They made their movie The Challenge that filmed in space about a year before Tom Cruise is going to end up doing it. We got some new information out of this, though. We didn't know all we knew was Tom Cruise was going to space. We didn't have any plot points. We didn't have a title. We didn't have directors. We didn't have the names of any writers. But we got this information out of Variety. They say a few details about the upcoming project that will reteam Tom Cruise with Edge of Tomorrow director Doug Liman and Mission Impossible 7 director Christopher McQuarrie have been revealed. The filmmakers are currently making progress on the script for the film, which will feature Cruise as an everyman who discovers that he alone has the ability to save the planet from an unspecified threat. Another detail that they revealed is before it was kind of speculated this entire movie was going to be filmed in space. In fact, only a few scenes are going to be filmed in space. It doesn't seem like much of the film is going to take place up there at all. So Tom Cruise, who has done a lot of these type of stunts, hanging outside of a building, hanging outside of a plane, doing a halo jump outside of a plane like over 75 times in order to get it done correctly. He's got a penchant for putting himself in these death-defying situations where he has to do an incredible stunt, and it pays off whenever it comes to how it translates on screen. That's partly a reason why I don't like the industry calling in the wake of the Alec Baldwin situation, saying that we should not have guns. We shouldn't actually be using firearms on the set. Whenever you see someone like Tom Cruise do what no other actor, no other performer is willing to do, and actually jump out of a plane, actually hang outside of a plane, actually climb the outside of a building, it does translate into a much better scene, which translates into a much more memorable film, which is why Tom Cruise action movies actually make it to a higher benchmark than anything else that we have been getting in the last 25 years whenever we're talking about quality action movies. So that leads me into more of a thought behind this of, is it going to make a difference if we're actually filming things in space? Part of me obviously thinks that this is a gimmick. This is getting attention to NASA. It's getting attention to Elon Musk, who loves getting all types of attention. And it's getting attention to Tom Cruise, to the film industry. It allows you to have articles that are written and clicked on and talked about and be put in the conversation because you're doing something that's never been done before. This production company is saying they're going to do this with tons of movies now. They're going to build a sports arena in space. Everyone is now talking about how sci-fi is becoming real. Is this just a way to get eyeballs onto a conversation? And I do think that that is very possible, and that isn't going to be answered until we see what is possible with this movie. And I do think that the other side of the conversation is very valid in thinking that this type of performance could actually enhance a movie, a story, in the exact same way that everything else Tom Cruise has done before does. In the same way that we are going to lose something from movies if they no longer use actual firearms, because there are some things that you cannot create in post-production. You cannot create a mellow performance in post-production. You can, of course, put in the bullet leaving the gun. You can add zero gravity, but you are unable to actually see the natural physicality that comes from the improv of a performer reacting to something that's actually in physical space. There's a difference between the good Star Wars movies that were filmed on set and the terrible ones that were filmed in just green screen Empire Kingdom type things. They look disgusting, they look gross. Those are extreme examples, but it does kind of go towards proving the point that physicality changes a scene in a way that you can't if you just function with a post-production mindset. So it could very well, I think, go either way. It could be just a gimmick. It could also change movies for the better so that if a studio has the money to actually invest in this type of filmmaking, then that movie is going to go the extra mile and it will be better for it. So what are your thoughts? The more details that we're getting of this, are you excited about this Tom Cruise movie in space? Are you not that excited? Let me know in the comments, and also subscribe to 5 Minute Critic for future updates on reviews and movie news.